What's up, good folks? Happy Sunday to you all. Um, if you don't know who I am, if you're new to my content or my channel, my name is Bonafide Queen Bree is the name that I go by. You can call me Queen Bree. You can call me Bonafide Queen Bree if that's more so my artist name. As I like to do music. Music is my passion. Um, I have a lot of passions, but music is like my second love. So yeah, I'm Bonafide Queen Bree. I'm Queen Bree. As I say, you could just call me Queen Bree for short. In this space, I like to talk about many different things. Um, I just wanted to record a quick video, and I wanted to express gratitude to you all of you who have been liking my content, liking my videos, liking my the things that I post, but also commenting on my videos. Giving your perspective is of high value. I want you to know, I wanted to express, and I want you to know that I think you of high value. I greatly appreciate your guys' engagement and your presence and your perspective. Um, you know, for different reasons. Having self validation, being able to validate yourself, having self confidence and self esteem, and thinking highly of yourself is not a sin. It's actually a very good thing to supplement with sustaining yourself, especially in this very dual reality that we live in, right? Especially in this world, is to say, simply put, I always get real deep. Like, people be talking to me and they be like, Bree. Because I get real deep. The way that I speak, the way that I talk, and my, like, the way that my mind, yeah, it's just, I be real deep. And then people be like, oh, yeah, the sister, the sister who speak, real passionately. um but yeah, it's very much needed as far as self-validation and everything. Giving yourself that love, and that's self-love, and all those beautiful qualities that we may look for in other people, as we are very much social beings. So these things are very natural, but always going within for everything. We've been taught by the masters and the sages and all of the intellectuals and the people who are highly spiritual, in their ways and their practices. The whole going within thing, getting what you need and what you want from within. So that was just a reminder. Me saying that before, saying how much that I value and appreciate you guys. Commenting and engaging with me in my content, because um, you know, when other people are engaging with you and they are giving their perspective, but they're also giving the feedback, it is of high value, and it matters a lot, because then you'll know, how are people engaging, and then what do they think? What are their thoughts about the things that you are talking about, what you're speaking about? And not even being arrogant. It ain't even so much about caring what people think, because that's not really something that ruminates in my mind. Of course, it's always the presentation and how I'm presenting myself to the world. And then as human beings, we go in our minds and we try to if you're somewhat of a perfectionist like me, you may go back on certain things and wonder how you did things. So it feels good sometime to get compliments, and to hear people's perspective and see what they have to say is very much valued, and you guys are very much appreciated. So I wanted to express in this video much gratitude to you guys. I read all of the comments, even if it's some things that I don't necessarily agree with. As long as it's not disrespectful, your comments are very much welcome. You engaging with me, liking my content, if you resonate with me, it means a lot, because then I know I'm not talking to myself, right? And I see how, my content and my channel is growing. So, uh, I don't like to use the word humble, but I think that that would be the closest way to describe how I feel. To be honest, to be a little bit, more transparent with you guys. Um, I don't know if I told anybody this, but I know in a video that I uploaded maybe a little bit over a year ago, I was telling people, how um, when you speak, it heals the throat chakra. And then me, being spiritually interested and a spiritual enthusiast is what I like to call it. Um, there's the chakra systems that I have studied, and how those things, how I incorporate those things in my world. And healing the throat chakra, or if you're shy like me, speaking and expressing yourself is highly encouraged. So it's been, some people may say with certain things that they view and they see with my content, they may say, she doesn't seem shy, she seems very confident. I'm a very confident person, but the truth about it is, I wouldn't say that it makes me less confident when I feel shy, but sometimes I do get a little bit camera shy. And to be quite honest, as I see my it just gives me a little bit of anxiety just thinking about it. As I see the numbers grow, if I see that a lot of people are watching my content and things, it makes me a little anxious. And I'm only sharing this with you guys because, people, they, and if that's their thing, no judgment, but some people, they're like, they thrive on a lot of attention and a lot of eyes on them, and a lot of, a big presence on social media and things. And to be quite honest, some people who watch my content, they know me personally. I think it's like a small part of my community, but they can actually vouch for me. They will tell you that because of my background, because of my my lifestyle, and a lot of different things that dictated for me to live a very, very private lifestyle once upon a time. So it was never ever my intention or my desire to be seen online or to have a big following. I remember one time, believe it or not, some years ago, I would say we're in 2026. I would say probably 10 to 12, 13 years ago, I had I had my Facebook, but that was about the only social media platform that I had. And on my Facebook, I literally only had like 100 friends or followers, or 150 friends or followers. And that was absolutely cool with me, because just like on social media reflects how I was in my life, where I kept my circle very small and it was very minimal, because the way that I thought then is similar to the way that I think now when it comes to, people having a lot of friends and things, whatever floats your boat. Power to you. Me, on the other hand, I keep, my circle small. And to me, the more people that you have close to you, the more people that you have to watch. And some people may say, that may be a negative way to think and things. We live in very unprecedented times, and everybody is not what they post to be. So I treat people with respect right off, right out the gate. And treating people kind and treating people respectfully is a thing. But this is all new to me. I've never been the type that had the desire to have a lot of people who was following me or engaging with me in social media and things. But I have to express the gratitude that I have for you guys. I've received a lot of comments. One of the brothers, I really appreciate him. He gave some feedback, especially on the more specifically the video that I made about Charleston White. Quick disclaimer about in regards to Charleston White. I no longer want to talk about him, but I heard that there may have been some unfortunate chains of events that had happened since I made that video, and I just want to say that I do not wish any harm to the brother. Some people, they, we all sometimes, we make mistakes, whatever, and then, there's some correction and rectification that needs to happen. And as humans, I think that we should be afforded that. So I don't wish any harm or bad to come to him, but also understand how energy and karma and how certain things work. So you have to be aware. Some people don't have that awareness. That's unfortunate. They learned the hard way. But there was a brother who commented on my video, and he was, advising and saying, how we give people a lot of energy by even speaking on them and things. And I am very aware of that. But I am also so grateful for your comment, for your perspective, for your feedback. It is greatly appreciated. And even, when people say things like, speak authentically, or they're encouraging you to speak and to be yourself and things, it makes sense, because even though a person may have a certain level of self-confidence and, self-admiration, or whatever you want to call it, when people resonate with you as social beings, it really makes a difference. So I'm so very genuinely grateful to you guys. Hopefully you guys will continue to engage in my content, and I will do the same. I was gonna say, if there's something that you guys want me to talk about, please comment on my video. YouTube actually has this thing where they created, where it's like this message thing where you can actually, like, I guess you could call it DMing people on YouTube now, which is kind of cool. So if somebody even want to shoot me a direct message, I'm fine with that too. Always keeping everything on the up and up, high vibration, and respectful. And then I'll do the same. But I'm open to that. I'm open to collaborating. But again, if people want me to speak about certain things, please let me know. I welcome, and I like, I would love different ideas on what they're talking about, what they're thinking about, if they, have certain questions and things. And to include, if people have, if they're curious about me, if there's something that you want to know about me, I just want to say that you can ask me, I'm not open. I'm not, I'm not there yet where I'm okay with people just, asking me any old thing, right? I will answer a question to the best of my ability. But anything that is too personal, I'm not going down that route. I can't say that I'm absolutely ready for that. So yeah, this video was because I want to express my gratitude to the online community, the people who are very supportive of Queen Bree, whether that be in the physical, whether that be in the unseen, right? Because I am very much aware that my spiritual team is strong. I'm a very spiritual woman, and I'm very much aware that my steps are ordered, and there is an order of things that's going on my behalf. So I'm very grateful for that, and I only said that because that is for me to acknowledge that there is a presence and there is support in the unseen, in the physical realm, and then in the spiritual realm. So for the people who make it known that they are supporting me, I appreciate you guys so much. For the people who may be shy or they feel away, and you're supporting, maybe you're supporting at a distance, maybe you're supporting behind the scenes, maybe you are watching and you're just not engaging. Anything that you're doing to contribute or you're supporting, it matters to me, and I greatly appreciate you. Also know that even if I don't know, just know that I'm always paying it forward, and I'm gonna continue to make it my intention to pay it forward where I can. So it's very important that I say that. I know that there is people who have my best interests at heart behind the scenes, and then also on a spiritual level, right? That's funny. It reminds me of a song that I wrote. It's called Elevating. And on the second verse, I said something along the lines of graduated from a soldier. Look at how I you saying, blame it on the higher intelligence wanting breed to win, right? I said something like, I stay to myself, no company, yeah, no fake friend. I call it self-love. They call it suffering, no deception in my present, no risky energy or revenge. So anyway, that's just me playing, you know. My spirit likes to play sometimes, especially in times like this where the energy is it's something. Me being even more, further being more transparent. I don't have bouts of depression. I have good and bad days just like everybody else, right? So thank God and I say much gratitude to the Most High and spirit of my ancestors, who has my best interests at heart, that I don't have those certain issues, and I'm not dealing with depression. If you are, I feel for you. And I said that because this whole this situation, if I'm being absolutely honest with you guys, this situation and this story with the brother Nolan Wells has really been riding my spirit, and it has really it really has done something to my spirit. But I also know I've seen some of the content online, and I know I can tell because I could feel people's energy, right? I could tell that a lot of people are actually negatively affected by it. So I just wanted to say that, you know, if you're like me and you feel away because you're very empathic or whatever, I hope that you don't, you know, have bouts of literal depressions, or when you feel certain things that you get, you know, you let it overcome you, and then it gets deep within you, and it kind of overcome you. We have to have different modes and different things to help us in times like this, where there's a lot of things that's being shared in the media, some for sinister reasons, some for very selfish reasons, very ignorant and for not so good reasons. But then also, I think I would like to believe that for the most part, a lot of things that are being shared about him is because we all naturally, we want answers, right? But I know that some people, they actually experience and deal with bouts of depression. You know, some of the things that I do to try to keep my vibe high is, you know, I'm always trying to talk to myself positively. Working out, you know what I mean? Reading is one of my hobbies. I love music, so I'm either singing in my head, I'm either singing to somebody, my baby. I'm a pretty happy and easygoing woman. Besides like injustice, like I tell people, you know, it's just a Libra part of me. I can't really help that. And then obviously the way, you know, my background, the way that I was raised, all of the things to consider when we're talking about everything that is what made the woman that I am today. But I said, like, working out, you know, meditation, getting out and, you know, going out where there may be water. I like water. So, you know, beautiful outdoors, outdoorsy, green, and bodies of water. I love water. So those are the things, some of the things that help me. But like I said, writing music, doing poetry, bumping music, I love that. Singing to myself, I love to sing. Obviously movies is great, but you know, the doom scrolling, it definitely can take a toll on the best of us. That's not good, especially if we're constantly seeing the same thing. And I, being transparent with you all, I've seen a lot of the same thing regarding the beautiful young brother Nolan Wells. But I do believe deep within my heart, because, you know, like I said, when I made a video about, you know, the STDs in Houston, I said, Houston, we have a problem. Well, we also know that Mississippi has a very sinister and dark history and background. So Mississippi, we also have a problem. And it's not being swept under the rug and anything, you know what I mean? Whether it was, you know, innocence or it wasn't, at the end of the day, no matter what, Mississippi, we have a problem. So I'm trusting God I'm trusting the Most High on this. For the people who are on my energetic resonance, my frequency and my energy, I greatly appreciate you guys. I'm kind of carrying it on and I'm carrying it out because I want the people who have subscribed, the people who are engaging, and the people who are supporting Queen Bree, blatantly and maybe not so blatantly. Like, I just want you guys to know how much I thoroughly, greatly appreciate you. And that it makes me feel even better when I express myself in ways where some people may feel like it's masculine, or it's aggressive, or it's a little bit too assertive, or the energy is heavy, or for some people they may even they may even think me mean because they don't understand me, and that's fine because I'm a very multi-layered, multi-dimensional, multifaceted woman. I don't know of anybody in this present day and time who really know me like that, as far as totally figuring me out. But will I apologize for my delivery and my presentation? No, I'm not, because I am the type of woman that I'm going to stand on what I believe in, and that is needed in this time. There is a evil energy, and we know, and some people say, well, don't focus on this and don't focus on that. And it ain't even about me focusing on it. It is the awareness, because a lot of us can't necessarily relate to some of the adversities and some of the negative chains of events that some people experience. But sometimes you just can't help, because you have a soul, because you feel deeply, because you may be a total empath, right? And some people probably can't even see it because they're like, nah, because you're tough and you're a tough cookie and you're powerful and da-da-da-da, as if you don't have feelings. It kind of reminds me of, how way back when they was doing operations and procedures on black women, and they figure, oh, because she's black, she doesn't feel pain. As women, we're very powerful and we have a high tolerance for pain, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're not affected by it. Oh, well, you guys you're so strong and you're so powerful. You give birth and it's like, yeah, but does that change the fact that we feel pain, right? So even as a people that are empathic, there are people who share those feels and the things that I have been feeling till this present day, feeling frustrated, feeling all these negative feelings, and some may feel like they don't know what to do and things, because they know that something is not right, and people online putting it all together. Like, it's so funny to me that funny in a humorous way, to laugh from keep from crying type of way, that there's a lot of people online who play detective, and then they be like, nah, this and this and this and this, and it gives me hope in humanity. Like, wow, there's a lot of people who's paying attention, but a lot of people who want to get to the truth, right? And then people who you can't just they're not naive, and you can't just give them a left and a right and sucker punch them. So when there's people in the community who's like, yeah, Queen, like, we feel you, like, that makes me feel good, because some people will try to make you feel like you're evil, or make you feel a way because you feel as though there's certain actions to be taken when it comes to something receiving justice, or someone receiving justice, right? Oh, there's a lot to unpack when it comes to our community, but there's a lot that's already been unpacked, right? And because of the history and the obvious and all of these things, yeah, my energy, yeah, it does, I do come off a certain type of way. I'm not going to get into explaining why. I don't feel the need to do that. I shouldn't even have to do that. All I can say is, I'm so grateful to the people in our communities who resonate with me, even on that level, right? Y'all tapped in, and then what's understood doesn't have to be explained, right? But there is a need and there is a necessity for certain things, right? So when people you know, they show me that, you know, we're here and we're on the same page. I greatly appreciate that. So I'm encouraging peace. Peace first is peace always, right? Um, you know, we thrive in peace, but giving peace where it is reciprocated, right? Um, but also remembering the whole balance of the energies and things, right? Balance is a Libra's first language, I suppose, because when it comes to things that we need to know, there's also an energy, and there's also people in the world who they get off on doing evil things, and people get off on sharing certain things because they know that it lowers people's frequency, whether that is, you know, them operating in, excuse me, them operating in the spirit of fear, in the spirit of sadness, in the energy of anger, despair, frustration, resentment, hatred, right? We don't have to like certain things, especially if it's wrong and it's not justified, right? We don't have to like it. But then there is that awareness that there are forces and there is energies that want to keep you down like that, because if you are down like that, you're not being creative, and then you're not in a love energy, and then you're not communing, you're not in a communal energy, and then that whole creativity thing, right? So we're not expressing ourselves in the highest ways of expression, and then you just don't feel good, right? So if anybody, you know, comes across my video and you guys been feeling, you know, sort of like me, just not feeling good about the things that you're seeing in regards to this beautiful young man, I'm right there with you. I feel you all day long. I would just encourage that, you know, you guys make sure that you're staying busy or doing something that's going to help balance that. And sometimes maybe you just totally turning it off, right? Whew, my God, there's just so much. When I'm talking about spirituality and then I'm talking about energies and things, there is one thing that I am aware of is there is a certain type, there's an energy and there's a certain type of people that the good word talk about that was a problem to God's chosen people, you know? So there's so many things that we should be made aware of, right? And whether people believe in the sacred text or the good book, whether people believe in the Bible or not, there are prophets and there are witnesses and there are people who gave accounts of their opinion and what they figure worked, but then also what they felt as though they would foresee, right? And then a lot of our people. So either way it go, I don't think that there is necessarily anything that is new on the earth, especially when it comes to what the sacred text teaches us. So a lot of that stuff that they were dealing with in those times, we're actually seeing that right today, right? So that should give you even more pride and strength to stand in the likeness and the ways of righteousness and this divine being who we're under. I don't want to get to preaching, but I'm just telling you, I'm speaking to you what my thoughts are when I'm struggling with the evils and the confusion, because that's like the biggest word right now. Aside from chaos, is confusion. It's a lot of confusion in the world, on the earth, and especially in social media, right? Even the most powerful, courageous, stand-up warrior fighter aspect of myself, I still have to calm, control, and tame, because there's a time and a place for everything, right? But then also recognizing who I am as a person and as a being, and how a lot of us are totally separate and apart and very different than these particular people and these particular energies that that the sacred text and the good book talk about. None of it. I said this in the last video that I recorded when I was talking about old boy, and then I was talking about the other old boy who's a. Anyways, the last video that I was talking about, right? I was saying that none of it is a coincidence, right? You know, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm literally sharing and speaking what the way that I think, if you will, or what's on my mind. So, I mean, people have to do their homework too. People have to do their research. So, yeah, that makes a world of difference. A lot of the stuff that the sacred text talked about then has been unfolding now, and there's some people online, some real spiritual people that's tapped in, and they're doing their homework too, and they're actually shedding light on this whole situation with the beautiful brother that everybody is talking about. What else did I want to say before I end this video? Expressing much gratitude. Telling people that they cannot ask me just about anything, but just some things. What else? Oh, well, so I was going to ask you guys how you like my hair, right? Because I wanted to do something different to it. I've been wanting to lock my hair for a while now, and I just wanted to do something different to it. But anyway, yeah, I kind of like my hair. Well, I just wanted to record this video, and I wanted to send you guys much love and gratitude to the people who are tapped in with me, all of y'all beautiful people who show me love, right? Who are present. It means so much to me. And then for the people who, are vying for my attention, and people who may, I'm not saying this in an arrogant way, but just being absolutely honest, there's some people who vying for people's attention, and, they don't know how to reach them or whatever. I don't bite unless it's on days that end in Y. I'm just joking. For the most part, I don't bite. But for people, because sometimes it's like high school, right? It's like high school, and I have to say that for the most part, my engagement online is high vibe, is very positive, it's on the up and up, and it's high vibe, very high vibrational, right? But here and there you will get some of the negative stuff, and some of the weird energy, and the stuff where people want to dump onto you because they want a reaction, and they want you to feel whatever hurt or pain or negativity that they feel. And 9 times out of 10 it's not working, because I have an intention, and I'm doing something, right? But then, like, when you're young and when you're in high school, this is what it reminds me of, where kids will go out of their way to try to tease you, or to try to bother you, and to try to piss your day off, because either they are dealing with something, or they are miserable, or they're not happy in their homes, or whatever that they may have going on. And then sometimes they're just bothering you negatively because they want to be your friend, and they don't know how to express their interest, their love, or how they have a deep desire to just be your friend. Well, I am way beyond that age and that time, but I understand that even in our grown age, a lot of us still have a lot of growing up to do. I just want to say that I am safe. I am a safe person to love. It's okay for you to love me, and you are safe with me to show me love. Now, I'm just offering that, right? I'm not pulling teeth, and I'm not a beggar, and I'm not a chaser. But I just want to say that it's okay if you want to show me love, and if you want to be kind. And then I'll reciprocate that, and I'll give that back to you in return. And like I said, for the people who are supporting me and showing me love, and just on an energetic level or whatever, I'm going to pay it forward. So anyway, I have totally went over my time as far as this upload, and how long I wanted to be on here. So I just wanted to, send love and gratitude to you guys. And I also want to encourage you to take care of yourself. Self-care is the best care, okay? So much love and ashe to you guys.